Hi guys, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are picking my March TBR. So one of my reading resolutions for 2020 was to get through the 52 reading challenges cards that Shelf Love Crate sent in our advent calendar in December. And so basically what I've been doing is for my TBR that I post for you guys is we pick out one per week for the month that we're going to be going into. I do sometimes read other books in the month, but those are not necessarily as planned out as these ones. I also do have 1 to 2 readathons in March that I wanted to do. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to do both or if it's going to be one and which one that will be. So I'm going to hopefully pick out books that go along with the 4 cards I'm going to be picking that will fit for the readathon as well. So I actually did pre-shuffle these, and I do sort of shuffle in between each pick. So the first book that I'm going to pick for March is to read the book in my TBR with the highest Goodreads rating. Okay. I have not finished putting my TBR together, so I'm going to skip this one for now and insert a clip as soon as I have finished picking out my TBR. Okay, and this is the clip I am inserting so that we can figure out the highest rated book on my TBR. I spent the last couple hours actually making sure I had all of my books that are on my physical TBR on a TBR list in Goodreads. I had been doing that for the last couple days and I just really needed to finish getting everything on there. So what we're going to do is pull up my TBR on Goodreads, and then we are going to sort by average rating. And this is something that I was aware of, that I have self-published graphic novels in my collection that I have purchased at the Phoenix Fan Fusion, I think is what they're calling it now. And so the very first one on here is Shards. Has a full 5-star rating because it only has 1 rating on there. We also have book 2 of some other graphic novel series. Since those are book 2, we are going to be going with Shards. So we have it right here. This is an anthology graphic novel, which I'm actually not entirely too sure what it's about anymore. From the minds of the newest San Francisco Bay Area storytellers comes this premiere anthology of tales spun in the great tradition of the graphic novel. These are fragments of worlds that span fantastical futures, strangely familiar but alternate histories, normal folk in the company of gods, reluctant companions on epic adventures, and the greater what-ifs. So I think the fact that it's like snippets of stories is why it's called Shards. They do have a sequel of like more stories, so like Shards Volume 2, but I only have Volume 1, and like I said, on Goodreads it has 1 rating of 5 stars, so there's no way we can get any higher than this. The second one is to read a book set in winter. I really struggled with this one because I have no idea what season most of these books that I have on my TBR are set in. However, one of the books that was down here near me, and for whatever reason I picked it off the shelf to try and see if it was a wintry book, was Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I have been meaning to read this for a while, and on the back, one of the blurbs says a snow-frosted, blood-drenched fairy tale. I'm pretty sure if there's snow-frosted things in the book, it's set during winter. Let me know in the comments down below if I am wrong, and I will try to find a book that fits better. However, this is what I'm going with right now. I don't know otherwise what I would read. So we're going with Wicked Saints. Okay, third one says to read book 1 in a spin-off series. Oh, I don't know how many spin-off series I actually have on my shelves. I can think of like 1. let me take a look and see what I have here. Okay, so basically any spin-off series that I own, I haven't fully finished the previous series, or it has been years since I read the previous series and I want to reread them. And so I was really not looking forward to finding a book to fit this prompt, because that would mean I would have to read other books in order to fill it. However, I think I finally found one that works. We are going to be going with Queen's Quality Volume 1 by Kyosuke Motomi. This is a manga series, so it shouldn't take too long to read. This is one of those ones where I haven't read the original series in a while, but that's going to be QQ Sweeper by Kyosuke Motomi, and it's only 3 volumes long. So this is something where if I really did want to reread the original series before I pick up Queen's Quality, I can do that quite easily. Like, this would take me around the same amount of time as like one typical YA book. So I could definitely do that and then pick this up. I also do have up through book 7 in this series, so I might end up binging a little bit of manga, but it's quite easy to do that because of how quick they are to read. So we're going to be going with Queen's Quality Volume 1. I'm so glad I found something that wasn't going to make me read a whole like YA or adult series. Okay, and then number 4. Okay. Read the last book in a series. This is calling me out so much on how I have not been finishing series. I did post a video in February, which I will leave linked down below in case you guys haven't seen it yet, on 5 series I do want to finish because I have not gotten close to finishing them yet. Let me see, what series is going to be the best one to pick for this month so I can read the last book in a series. Would it count if I'm picking the most recent book in a series? This is my challenge. These are my cards. I think that's what I'm going to do because all the series I sort of want to finish, I have more than just the last book left to finish. I have usually 2 to 3 extra books that I need to read, and a lot of the series I want to reread. But Anita Sunday just released the most recent book in her Signs of Love series, which I absolutely love. They are LGBTQ male-male romances, but more often than not, at least one of the main male characters is bisexual, so I usually don't like to just consider them male-male romances. But the most recent one just came out last week from when I'm filming this. It might be 2 weeks by the time you guys see this video, but it's like super new, and it's gonna be Cancer Ships Aquarius. This is a series that, like I said, I've absolutely been loving, and each book follows 2 new main characters, which I don't usually like in like fantasy or YA sort of stories, but since this is technically adult romance, I haven't been minding it as much. And because of that, I don't actually have to reread the previous books in the series, especially since this is like the 5th book, I believe it is. I've given every other book in this series either 4 or 5 stars, and so I think that's what I'm gonna go with. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Cancer Ships Aquarius. I don't know anything else about this book except for it is the LGBTQ romance, and I've loved the series previously. I don't even know how our main characters know each other or don't know each other. We're gonna have to find that out all together. But yes, that's what we're gonna go with. Okay, and so we have the 4 books that I am planning to read in the month of March, including the ebook that I obviously don't have in my hands here, but we have a graphic novel, a YA fantasy, a manga, and then an adult contemporary romance. I feel like I'm setting myself up for such a great reading month and an easier reading month than the last couple have been, just because we don't have as long of books. And that's going to be great when we get into the readathons that are happening later in the month. So I'm very excited for those. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up Mondays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye.